As they're being tracked in an actual physical store.
More and more retailers are profiling customers and tracking their movements inside stores through their smartphones. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Beth Haynes. We already knew online retailers tracked our clicks on the web and record what we buy and where we browse. Well, now we're learning brick-and-mortar stores are also tracking how you shop. The New York Times reported this week that retailers can track how long customers linger, what catches their eye, and whether they return purchased items all through their smartphones. And it works through your Wi-Fi signal. While it may seem like some big brother is watching too closely, experts say this technology is here to stay.
The majority of the stores will be doing this within 5 to 10 years. I think it's going to ultimately benefit the consumer. When a retailer understands better your preferences as you shop, they're going to be able to tailor particular discounts for the way you like to buy.
Joining us now with more on how stores are tracking how you shop, Bob Wilson, Digital Media Manager at Moxley Carmichael. Really appreciate you being with us. Very interesting and certainly raising a lot of eyebrows.
Certainly is.
Before we get into some of the specifics, let's just talk about this technology and how it works using your smartphone Wi-Fi.
Yeah, every phone that has Wi-Fi ability, the smartphones, has a kind of a fingerprint or an identification number, and so that's what it's reading. It's reading that number that's coming from your phone, and it tracks you or who you are by that number. It can't get your cell phone number. That number is not your cell phone number.
Okay.
It's just an identification for the network, but that's how it's tracking. It's just keeping track of those numbers, and when you come back, it just says this number's back again, so this person is back again.
And that's the only information it's getting, right? None of your personal information.
Right. It really is only that one number.
How long has this been going on? Which stores are doing it? And are we seeing it here in East Tennessee?
It's been going on some part of this year. I'm not sure exactly when it started. The company, one of the main companies that does it, will not release exactly who their customers are. Mm-hmm. There have been a few that we know about, but for the most part, they're not telling. And there are at least 3 zip codes in East Tennessee in our local area that there's some store in that zip code that is using the system. Interesting.
And the brick-and-mortar stores, they argue it actually helps compete with online businesses. How so?
Well, they know a little more about what you do when you're in the store. When you're online, they can track kind of the pages you went to, the products you went to, how long you were on the site. But when you walk into a store, they don't really know that. So that's what they're using this for, is to see where you went in the store, what products or what areas you looked at, mm-hmm. and how long you were there, trying to match up that data from someone being in a store to what they're doing online.
Some stores are taking it a step further with video cameras and facial recognition software. Mm-hmm. At what point, though, does this technology scare off customers?
Well, I think it's beginning to now. I think as these stories start to come out and the fact that there's not real good disclosure, there are little signs that are set up, but they're never in a very prominent place. So people don't know this, and when they find out, some of the response is, I'm not going to go back there and mm-hmm. shop.
So how much of a privacy concern is this, and is there a step further from this?
I don't know. It's really not any different than what they can get online as far as what the information they're getting. The problem is, in my opinion, is the non-disclosure, the fact that they're not telling people, they're not making it obvious. So then when people find out, it's kind of a shock to the system, and then you start to wonder what else they're doing or,
sure.
or what else they can do or will do.
Obviously, the information that's collected is beneficial to the store. Is there any benefit, though, to the customer?
I don't know if there's any direct benefit. More products that most people use might be a benefit. They know how to supply, they know how to put things in their store and how to inventory better. But as far as a direct benefit, I don't know that there is one for the customer.
The good news is there is a way to prevent this from happening to you. What do smartphone owners need to do?
Yeah, really the best way to do it is just turn off your Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. If you don't have Wi-Fi on, that number's not being transmitted, and there's no way to track you.
Okay. It does make you wonder, though, what's next?
Yeah, it's... this is a kind of a surprising thing to most people. So, what is next? I don't know. I think the facial recognition is probably more refined use of that is probably the next step.
Even though the surprise is out, these brick-and-mortar stores are still committed to continuing to use the technology?
I think so. I think the data they get from it is going to offset any kind of backlash. Unless it becomes a major backlash, I think the data is going to offset any loss from that.
Certainly will make you think twice the next time you walk into a store and do some shopping. You might want to put your phone, turn the Wi-Fi off, and put it in your purse. All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us. Great information.
Yeah,
have a great weekend.